All right. Welcome. Happy Friday. Oh, I got to turn off the volume here. There we go. Thanks everybody who's already logged on. We're just a little bit, about a minute after 8 o'clock, so we'll give it a couple seconds or a couple minutes to get everybody who wants to join in tonight logged on. Also, I need to get a beer, which I realize I have yet to do. So give me 2 seconds. Well, maybe a little longer than that. Make sure you guys get a chance to get your pencils and pens, writing utensils, a score sheet as well, the link to which I've posted in the chat. If you're new to drinking and thinking in quarantine, you're going to need that score sheet in order to log your scores. That is basically it. Thank you. Nice to see people joining in already. And thank you very much for the birthday wishes. It is, in fact, my 24th birthday, and I am grateful and glad to be spending it with you guys. There's a lot to focus on tonight, a lot of different special things happening. So I'm going to grab a beer. I hope you to do the same. I invite you to do the same. And then we'll come back and get going in just a couple seconds. Also plug in my Ethernet cable, which I realize I often forget to do. All right. Gotta turn the fire as well. Whoops. See that? I'm impressed. We already have over 80 people joining in. It's a beautiful night here in Toronto. I hope it's a beautiful evening wherever you are. Looking at the forecast, it looks like, at least across Canada, most of the country is enjoying a beautiful weekend. So I don't blame you if you are not eager to be spending it indoors. Keep in mind, this trivia night can be equally enjoyed outside as it can be inside. I would recommend, if you've got outdoor space and you've got a strong enough Wi-Fi connection, take this outside and enjoy the view. Let me bring this around here so I can see my computer. In case you're wondering, given that it is somewhat a special occasion and we're celebrating a lot of things this week, we're celebrating Pride. I've got my Stonewall shirt on. The first Pride was a riot. A friend of mine picked this up in New York. If you don't know the history of Stonewall, check it out. That the gay rights movement was really born out of that that gay bar in New York, and really was kicked off by a group of queer, trans people of color who the gay community certainly and many of us owe a lot of thanks to. And this T-shirt, despite being really tight on me, pays homage to that. Also, it's Father's Day. I got a picture of my own dad here. And also, my dad is, like he has in past weeks, also very kindly sponsoring us some prizes. We're back to giving out prizes this week, including this $20 gift certificate to the LCBO, care of my dad. We also have a couple of gift certificates for 12 packs of Steam Whistle beer that we're going to be giving out. So I know we took a bit of a hiatus from prizes the last couple of weeks, but they're back, and I encourage you to compete for them because they're not too bad. Free alcohol is never a bad thing. Also, I want to anyone who has been following along since we've done this. I think this is either, I counted this week and now I can't remember. This is either our 14th or 15th week of doing Quizzing in Quarantine since the lockdown began in March. The community outpouring has been great. It's been so nice to see so many people come back on an almost weekly basis and participate, and that means a lot to me. Also, one of the things I'm most proud of is that this group collectively, we have raised a lot of money for a lot of great causes during lockdown. We have, in the first month, we raised over $600 for the Daily Bread Food Bank. In the second month of quarantine, or at least last month in May, we raised over $800 for the Red Door Shelter, helping those finding themselves in unsafe domestic situations during quarantine. And tonight, one more charity to raise money for, and I will be totally honest in saying this is the one that I'm most interested in seeing us raise money for, in part because it's an organization that I have been doing some work with for the last couple of years and think the world of. And actually, I'm participating next week in a really cool event for them, and I am going to ask you, not beg, not demand, but simply ask, while also pointing out that it is my birthday, and if you feel like doing something, then this is a really nice gesture that I would very much appreciate. If you'll see, I am next week for Covenant House, which is a shelter, a youth shelter here in Toronto, with locations all across North America, in fact, Vancouver and New York. But I'm raising money for the Covenant House here in Toronto. Normally in April, we do a sleep out event where a bunch of us, 100 of us, get together and sleep outside and raise money for youth who don't have a reliable place to sleep at night. That event was postponed due to COVID, and it's now happening next week. So I'm going to share a link right now. I promise not to go too hard on this pitch, but I'm sharing a link if you feel like donating. If you feel like donating. And as I said, we're not doing this every week, the charitable aspects, just maybe once a month. And this is that cause this month. I will say as well, there is a tie-in to the theme of the week, and that is that up to about 40% of the youth who access Covenant House actually identify as members of the LGBTQ community. So there is a really close tie-in with Pride, and as a gay person myself, I really identify with the important work that this charity does. I've been very lucky in that my life has always been full of incredibly supportive and loving people, but I've talked to a lot of young people who use Covenant House who don't have that same luxury, don't have that same love and support in their lives, and they turn to a place like Covenant House. So I think it's incredibly special, even though this event wasn't supposed to happen during Pride Month. It's pretty appropriate that it is, because so many of their clients, so many of the youth who use their service are LGBTQ and need the support that Covenant House offers. So that's my pitch. If you have a chance and you want to donate $5 or $10, whatever you can, I know it's a tough time financially for some people, but if you can dig deep and donate to Covenant House using the link I supplied, I'm about, let's see, about $1,000 away from my fundraising goal. And if I reach my fundraising goal, which this year is $3,662, it'll actually bring my personal fundraising number over the last 3 years that I've been doing the sleep out up to $15,000, which I'd be incredibly pleased with. So that's my pitch. I'll maybe mention it one more time throughout the night, but if you get a chance, it would mean a lot if you feel like donating, and no pressure though. All right, that is I think the logistics out of the way. I'm going to pour myself a beer and we'll get started. If you've not joined us before for quizzing in quarantine, here's how this works. We're going to kick off 6 rounds of trivia. Each round is worth roughly 10 points. The night will take us until about 10 o'clock. You write down your own scores, you mark your own papers, and then we collectively record them together in a document that I provided. So I would encourage you to make sure you have that link handy. I'll read the questions twice and once at the end of the round. The only difference there is in the rapid fire round, which I only read the questions twice and not at the end of the round. So you got to be listening for that. All right, I think that's pretty much all that you need to know, unless I'm mistaken. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot a message onto the chat, and I will keep an eye out for it throughout the course of the evening and answer questions as they come in. But without further ado, we will begin the evening with a round I call Things I Think You Should Know, 10 general knowledge trivia questions. As I mentioned in some of the preamble and in the links to tonight's event, there is a definite dad and gay theme tonight, because it is Father's Day this weekend and Pride weekend, or Pride month. Also, it is, I should mention as well, I meant to mention off the top, that it is Juneteenth, which is I'll be brutally honest, for me it was an event, a historic event that I didn't know much about. It relates to the emancipation of slaves in the United States, specifically in Texas, and it was on June 19th, I believe, 1865, when enslaved Black people in Texas finally learned that they had achieved, or that they had been granted freedom. And it's a holiday that in the current climate is getting finally attention that it probably has been deserving for a long time. And so I just wanted to note that, even though that's not really a theme in the questions at all tonight, just wanted to make an acknowledgement of that. But you'll notice that a lot of the questions tonight do have to do with either dads or pride. So if you're not a specialist in either of those areas, you might want to recruit somebody, but there is some general knowledge as well. Anyway, without further ado, I will begin with the things I think you should know, the general knowledge trivia round, each question worth a point, a single point, unless otherwise noted. We begin tonight with question number 1, and that question is, what city are you visiting if you find yourself walking through the Castro district? Question number 1, things I think you should know. What city are you visiting if you find yourself walking through the Castro district? Question number 2, name the father-son combo who have scored the most combined points in the NHL. This is of all the pairs of fathers and sons who have played in the NHL in the league's history. This is the pair that, when combined, have scored the most number of, sorry, I should say points, not just goals, it's points. Again, question number 2. Name the father-son combo who have scored the most combined points in NHL history. Question number 3. In 1991, she became the first openly LGBTQ performer to win 2 acting Oscars. Can you name her? I should specify that she didn't win these 2 acting Oscars in the same year. But in 1991, she won her second, making her the first gay actor or actress to win 2 Academy Awards. Can you name her? And here's a bonus question related to question number 3. This is for a separate bonus point. In the year 2000, she became the first performer to win a Best Actress Oscar for playing an LGBT character. Can you name her? This is a different performer, but in the year 2000, she became the first performer to win a Best Actress Oscar for playing an LGBTQ character. Can you name her? Question number 4, somewhat of a tough one. This might be the genius point in the round. Question number 4, name the Greek god who was the father of Demeter, Hera, Poseidon, and Zeus, among others. This guy spawned a lot of legends in the world of Greek mythology. And you certainly probably have heard of his kids, but can you name him? Question number 4, name the Greek god who was the father of Demeter, Hera, Poseidon, Zeus, among others. Question number 5. How many colors are featured on a standard pride flag? Question number 5. How many colors are featured on a standard pride flag? There are some variances out there, but there is sort of one flag that's accepted as the standard, I guess. How many colors? And if you want a bonus point, name all of those colors. Did I recap question number 5? I'll do it one more time just in case. How many colors are featured on a standard pride flag? And for a bonus point, can you name them? Question number 6. The only father-daughter collaboration to reach the top spot on the Billboard pop music chart was a single by these two people. It reached the #1 spot on the Billboard pop music chart. I won't give you the year because that might be a bit too much of an indicator. But the father-daughter combo were these two people. You have to name those people. Oh my God. Somehow you guys incredibly just, oh my God, I reached my goal. That is incredible. I did not expect it to happen, period, let alone so fast. Holy shit. That is incredible. Well, I'll tell you this, and I'm not saying we try and get there tonight because it's a very extreme goal, but if I do reach $5,000, I get a throw pillow, and I would gladly then use the throw pillow as a prize in a future quizzing and quarantine week. If you still want to donate, if people haven't donated, anyway, I won't weigh us down with that. But that's incredible. I'm so blown away and so touched that we already it's not just met but surpassed my goal. But there's still a lot more that can be done. Thank you. All right, back to the questions. Question number 6 was the only father-daughter duo to ever reach the #1 spot on the Billboard Top 100 pop charts. Question number 7. What was the first country in the world to legalize same-sex marriage? What was the first country in the world to legalize same-sex marriage? Question number 8. By the end of the run of the TV show Friends, which main male characters or character was a father? By the end of the series, name the character or characters of the main male characters, which there are only 3. Name the one or the ones who had become a father, or who were fathers. And again, characters on the show, not actors in real life. Question number 9. The word lesbian is derived from the home of what Greek poet? This is a hard one too. The word lesbian is derived from the home of which Greek poet? Going way back with Greek questions, never easy. Looking back, this is actually a tough round. Didn't go easy on people tonight. And finally, the last question in the round, again, relating back to Father's Day. Question number 10. What is the proper name for the tail of a sperm cell? Question number 10, the last question in the round. What is the proper name for the tail of a sperm cell? Whenever I think of that, I think of the opening scene of Look Who's Talking. If you remember, I think it was Michael J. Fox who was the voice, I think, of the sperm swimming through the fallopian tubes. I should know these things. Anyway, great scene from a great classic 80s comedy. All right, those are the 10 questions that make up round number 1. I will repeat each question one more time, starting with question number 1. Here it is. What city are you visiting if you find yourself walking through the Castro district? See, you say John Travolta, but I think John Travolta, he was the real life dad. He wasn't not the dad, but the guy who became kind of the dad. He wasn't the voice, I don't think. He and Kirstie Alley are the humans in the movie. Anyway, question number 2. Name the father-son combo who have scored the most combined points in the NHL. Oh, it was Bruce Willis. Thank you, Jennifer. Good call. Bruce Willis was the voice. Question number 3. In 1991, she became the first openly LGBTQ performer to win 2 acting Oscars. Can you name her? And for a bonus point, in the year 2000, someone else, became the first performer, who herself not LGBTQ, but the first performer to win a Best Actress Oscar for playing an LGBTQ character. Can you name her? Question number 4, name the Greek god who was the father of Demeter, Hera, Poseidon, and Zeus, among others. Question number 5, how many colors are featured on a standard pride flag? And for a bonus point, can you name those colors? Question number 6, the only father-daughter collaboration to reach the top spot on the Billboard pop music chart was a single by these 2 people. Who are those 2 people? The only father-daughter duo. Question number 7, what was the first country in the world to legalize same-sex marriage? Question number 8, by the end of the run of the TV show Friends, which main male character or characters was a father? Question number 9, recap. The word lesbian is derived from the home of which Greek poet? And finally, question number 10, what is the proper name for the tail of a sperm cell? All right. Those are the 10 questions that make up round number 1. It is time now to move on to round number 2, which is called the 10. The format for it every week is I give you a list of 10 things. You have to write down 10 things that belong on that list. For every correct answer, you'll get a single point. Pretty straightforward. Tonight, I'll give you, well, let's say 7.5 minutes to complete this round. And here is the round this week as I work to set my timer. What did I say, 7.5? The round is this. And this is a survey that was done in the last 2 years, and it polled over 10,000 people. I'm not sure if that makes it scientific or not, but the question in the poll that people were asked was, I want to get this wording right. Name the TV father who you would want to be your own dad. So basically, it's sort of the best TV fathers of all times, but sort of with the under the auspices of this is a person who you'd want to be your own dad. And just to give you a little hint, I'm only going to say this once because it's kind of a big hint, but I would listen up because these dads span the gamut of TV generation. So roughly 20% of the dads listed were from the shows in the 1960s. 20% were from shows in the 1970s. 30% were from shows in the 1990s. 20% were from shows that aired in the year 2000s, and 10% in the 2010s. So you have to name 10 of the top 15. 10 of the top 15 dads who people answered when they were asked the question, what TV dad would you want to be your own dad? 7.5 minutes starting now. In case you're just joining us, we are in the middle of the 10. We have 5 minutes and 30 seconds left. You have to list 10 of the 15 dads most commonly provided, TV dads, when people were asked, what TV dad would you want to be your own dad? The survey was done by a site called ranker.com, in case you want to get scientific. And these really are eclectic TV dads. You might be surprised by some, but others are pretty obvious, I'd say. The survey was done within the last 2 years. Yes, character names. And there are 15 dads. I mean, the list was long, but I truncated it down to 15, the top 15 dads. You have to name 10 of the 15 who are on that list of top dads. Yeah, I will. Man, I'm giving too much away, but there is, I'll tell you this, there is one animated dad on this list. Just one. Now we are down to 2 minutes and 20 seconds to come up with 10 of the 15 best TV dads, according to people who were asked, who would you want to be your TV dad? Getting down to the wire here, we've got 1 minute, just over 1 minute left in the. Twenty seconds left in this round. Three, two, one. All right. That is time. Time to put down your pens and pencils. No more opportunity to answer. Instead, what we're going to do is go back and take up the answers from rounds 1 and rounds 2. So I implore you to be as honest as possible. Now that we're back to playing for big prizes like Steam Whistle and LCBO cash, there might be some incentive to not fully be honest with your recording your score. I ask you to please respect the integrity of quizzing and quarantine and be honest with your answers. Here we go. We'll start with the answers from round number 1. Things I think you should know. Question number 1, I asked, what city are you visiting if you find yourself walking through the Castro district? It'd be easy to assume and think, and with good reason, that this might be Havana. It's not. It actually is San Francisco. The Castro district happens to be the gay village in San Francisco. That is answer to question number 1. Question number 2, the father-son combo who've scored the most combined points in the NHL. I actually, going into this, thought that it was going to be what it actually isn't. I thought it was Brett and Bobby Hall. They actually came in second. But the first place father-son duo is actually Gordie Howe and his son Mark. Gordie recording 1,850 points in his career in the NHL. Mark 742. That's not including when they played. I think it was for Hartford in the WHL. But yeah, Gordie Howe and Mark Howe. I will accept just Howe. If you had Howe, because there's also Marty Howe, Mark's brother, Gordie's other son. But if you just had the Howe family, I'll accept that. I thought it was funny. Fourth or fifth on his list was Ray Bourque and his son. Ray Bourque had scored like 1,400 points, recorded 1,400 points, and his son had recorded 7. But yet his son still gets to be on this list. Anyway, but the Howe, Gordie Howe and Mark Howe. And actually, speaking of Father's Day and Gordie Howe, I have a picture of my dad, me and Gordie Howe. There you go. How's that for topical? All right, question number 3 is I asked who the first openly LGBTQ performer was to win 2 Oscars. And I mentioned that she won her second in 1991. That was the year that the movie Silence of the Lambs came out. Jodie Foster won an Academy Award for Best Actress in that film, and that is the correct answer. Jodie Foster. She had won 1 year previously as well for, now I'm blanking on the first win for her, but she won Best Actress the year prior as well. Then on to the bonus point for that round, the first performer to win a Best Actress Oscar for playing an LGBTQ character. That is Hilary Swank. She won in the year 2000 for the movie Boys Don't Cry. That's a good question, James. Yeah, think of your dad if you're going to cheat. He would not be impressed. The Accused. Thanks, Jacob. That's right. That's Foster's first win. All right, number 4. And I realized I said Greek god. Apparently, he was a Greek titan. So maybe I'm not factually exactly correct. But if you knew that, you probably knew who this was. Name the Greek god or Greek titan whose father Demeter, Hera, Poseidon, Zeus, among others. It was Cronus. 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 How many colors are featured on a standard pride flag? I realize I'm actually kind of wearing one on my t-shirt. So if you look closely, you might be able to figure out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And those colors, if you want a bonus point that you need to know, are red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. Purple, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. That is the answer to question number 5. Question, and then you didn't need to get the colors. As long as you knew there were 6 colors, that's worth a point. Number 6, the only father-daughter collaborative team to ever reach the top spot in the Billboard pop music charts. It was back in 1967. The song was called Something Stupid. That's actually the name of the song. And the artists were Frank Sinatra and Nancy Sinatra. Frank and Nancy Sinatra. Question number 7. The first country in the world to legalize same-sex marriage was the Netherlands. I believe Canada was 5th, perhaps. But the first country ever in the world to legalize same-sex marriage was the Netherlands, or Holland. Question number 8. By the end of the run of the TV show Friends, which main male character or characters were fathers? That'd be Ross, though he also went into the show as a father, and I think he had, and Rachel, I think, had another child on the show. Also Chandler. Chandler and Monica had a kid. That is the correct answer. Chandler and Ross are the 2 dads on Friends by the end of the run of the series. Number 9, the word lesbian is derived from the home of which Greek poet? The island obviously was Lesbos, but the Greek poet was Sappho. 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 And finally, the proper name for the tail of a sperm cell. I have to admit, I don't use this word very often, therefore don't even really know how to pronounce it. But let's try flagellum? 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 E-L-L-U-M. If you have something similar to that, I will accept it. Spelling doesn't exactly have to count. Flagellum. Well done. Those are the answers to question or to round one. Flagellum, Jennifer says. And I've also learned that Ross had his first child in the first season. Man, you guys are wealths of knowledge. All right, on to the 10, taking up the answers to the 10. I'm going to read out 15 names, but you only had to get 10 of these in order to get, I'll read out 15 names, but you had an opportunity to earn 10 points, if you get what I mean. I'll start at the bottom of the list, father furthest from the top when it comes to who you want to be your TV dad. This is back in the 60s. This one surprised me, but Gomez Adams was number 15. Gomez Adams. Number 14, Carl Winslow from Family Matters. Number 13, Ward Cleaver, pretty standard TV dad from Leave It to Beaver. Ward Cleaver is 13. Number 12, John Walton from the Waltons. Number 11, this I qualified as a 90s sitcom, though it is back on the air now in some form. Dan Connor, played by John Goodman. Dan Connor from Roseanne is number 11. Again, you just need the character name. And you know what? Just because I'm in a giving mood, because you guys have been so generous with the cause, if you have dad from blank, I'll accept that. Dan Connor is number 11. Number 10, this was the only animated name on the list. Doesn't strike me as the pinnacle of fatherhood, but he's on it. Peter Griffin from Family Guy. Number 10, Peter Griffin. Number 9, Red Foreman. He was the father from That 70s Show. Red Foreman is number 9. Number 8, Hal, and we don't know his last name because they never really revealed the last name of the family on Malcolm in the Middle. But he was played by, oh my God, Walter White. Holy fuck, shit. That guy, you know. I can't believe I'm blanking. Anyway, Hal from Malcolm in the Middle is number 8. Danny Tanner is number 7, the dad from Full House. Danny Tanner. Number 6, Howard Cunningham, who was the dad from Happy Days. Bryan Cranston, thank you. Holy crap, I can't believe I forgot that. Bryan Cranston, thanks. Yeah, Howard Cunningham from the Happy Days is number 6. Number 5, perhaps the most recent dad on this list, or at least from a recent TV show, Phil Dunphy from Modern Family, which just wrapped up its run. Phil Dunphy is number 5. Number 4, Charles Ingalls from Little House on the Prairie is number 4. Charles Ingalls, number 4. Number 3, Tim Taylor, Tim the Toolman Taylor from Home Improvement. That was a bit of a surprise, but he's number 3. Number 2, Philip Banks from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is number 2. Philip Banks. And the number 1 TV dad of all time, according to people who would want this person as their own father, Sheriff Andy Taylor. He was the dad and the main actor in the Andy Griffith Show, played by Andy Griffith. Which I never understood that concept of naming a show after the actual actor, but then not the character, right? Like Andy Griffith Show or Cosby, and yet then you have Andy Taylor or Huxtable. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway, those are the dads. I'll read them again really quickly, starting at the bottom. Gomez Adams, Carl Winslow, Ward Cleaver, John Walton, Dan Connor, Peter Griffin, Red Foreman, Hal from Malcolm in the Middle, Danny Tanner, Howard Cunningham, Phil Dunphy, Charles Ingalls, Tim Taylor, Philip Banks, and Andy Taylor. Those are the dads on the list. Stephen Keaton probably should have been okay, but oh, I think I can do that. Remove. Oh wait, hold on. Can I do this? I've never had to. I think I've just deleted. Let's see. Hey, Jacob, you seem like a upstanding person. Can I make you a moderator? Just because you've add moderator. Let's do this. Welcome. You've been promoted. All right. Yeah, Carl Winslow was at the top, or was at early in the list. All right. I think I can undo moderation if Jacob doesn't live up to the standard that we need. All right. That is round one and round two. Here's when you need to click the Google link, the Google Drive link, which I'll share again if you don't have it, or if you're just joining us. You are now to enter your score into the Google Doc. Enter scores here. There we go. Enter your score, write down your team name, and I will announce tonight's self-isolation scavenger hunt. If you recall, for the last couple of weeks, pretty much since we've been doing this, I give you something that you have to try and find in your house. The first person to find it, or the person who finds the best example of this, wins a special prize tonight. It is a 12-pack of Steam Whistle beer. I also want to give a special shout out to Elliot, who last week won our most embarrassing concert stub contest. He proudly shared his stub of Leah Michelle in concert at Massey Hall, and I, in order to reward him for that, he had won a month-long subscription to a music streaming service, Spotify usually, and he actually turned that down and encouraged me to donate to a fantastic cause, which was a food-related charity related and supporting the Black Lives Matter movement. And so I did that, and I think he actually and his fiance even matched, which is incredibly generous. So thank you, Elliot, for that. Shout outs to Elliot for sure. But tonight it's not a cash prize; it's actually a gift certificate. So here's what you have to do. And I'm really not normally a birthday guy, but as we learned earlier, it is my birthday, and so I thought of this. I was born in the year 1983, so the first person to find a coin in their house that's from the year 1983. I don't even know if the coins were minted in that year or if they took a gap year, but I'm assuming if you can find a coin, a Canadian, or let's say Canadian coin that was minted in 1983. Take a picture of you holding it, you will win 12 Steam Whistle beers. So yeah, that is the challenge. Thanks, Drew. Appreciate the support. All right, hopefully people are entering their scores. I'm going to introduce all the teams in just a second. I also want to just, I'm so blown away that I did quick math while you guys were doing the 10 round, and in a matter of literally minutes, like I think less than 5 minutes since I put up that link, you guys donated over $1,000 to Covenant House, which I really can't tell you how much that means to me, because I really support this charity, and I'll be sleeping outdoors next week to recognize my support. And you guys are a huge part of this. So you helped me surpass my fundraising goal. I've re-upped my fundraising goal just because. But thank you guys so much, over $1,000, and that just builds on the momentum of the success and the generosity of this group, starting with $600 in month one, $800 in month two, and now in the third month we've raised over $1,000 in a couple minutes, and that puts any telethon I've seen to shame. So thank you guys very much. It really means an incredible amount to me. All right. Oh yeah, I think I said I was turning 24. Born on a leap year? I don't know. I'm actually. In all honesty, I'm now 37, which sounds incredibly old. Here we go. I am going to welcome all the teams who are competing tonight, of which right now we already have 59 teams. And I'll give you another chance to enter your, if you haven't entered your score yet, you still can, but I will welcome the teams who have entered their names already. We have joining us from across the city, the province, the country, maybe even the world. We've got 44 Magnum finger guns. We've got Super Duper Alice Balazuper, CERB or Curb Your Enthusiasm, YTV's Weird on Wheels, the sum of Mackay's age and the number of IPAs he will drink tonight. 10. That would be 10 IPAs tonight. That would be disastrous. But this sour that I'm drinking from Brewery in Whitby is going down really well. We also have, when the kids are asleep, the adults will quiz. The IPCRIS file. IPCRIS? IPSRIS? I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. We have In Spite of Our Self-Isolation, Living Covida Loca, Trivia Lassies, The Naughty Dog, Soup Lovers 2.0, Suck It, Trebek, D's Nuts, Second Last, Raptors Parade Nostalgia. How good of a day was that, except for the shooting? Mackay is really 37. Thank you just for pointing that out. You've now officially lost. We're still on a patio. Sorry, Toronto. I'm incredibly jealous. Well done. Enjoy every minute of it. Universally Challenged, Heroes in a Half Shell, Defund Tom Nook, Hoochie Mama, The Three Musket Beers, Egregious Philbin, June Loves Jerry. We don't know Jack, but we do know Amber, and it's her birthday. Hey, Amber, I'm in good company, I should say. Happy birthday. Also, Paul Abdul and Macklemore born on this day. Kathleen Turner, too. Dad Purse First, Bobby and KG, Three People. You're a Quizzard, Harry. At least we're above average. Otrivia Munn, Billy Ray Virus, A Buys and a Bay, Exquiz Me. I like Big Bubbles and I Cannot Lie. That's pretty good. That might be my favorite so far tonight. Pringle All the Way, Penny and the Jets, the Sarah Spas, again, pardon for pronunciation. So this is the way the world ends, not with a big bang, but with a whimper, and Mackay's Wayfair chairs. That's deep and dark and probably quite true. Tit Soup for the Birthday Boys, Soul. Thanks, Laura. Make America Gay Again. Yes, I can get behind that. Honey Wagon Swampers and a Dad. Daddy Mackay's Sleepover Party Crashers. Awesome, great name as well. Portal Pilgrims, East Coast Kitchen Party. Happy birthday, Mackay. Welcome from the East Coast. Go to Bed Jensen and Madeline. Seriously, parents got to get drunk and do trivia. Nick K is a schluzer. Happy birth, Dad. Nick's Foley, Jerry Squad, The Real IMDb, That's All We've Goat, Quizzy McGuire, Bobble Bubbles, Coronas with Lime, Big Brian's Back, All Right, featuring Tiny Tim and the moderator. Nick K is a schluzer again. Birthday party in the front, trivia in the backyard. I do encourage everyone to play trivia outside if you can. Get those fresh air hours in. Charlie the Dog rocks. And those are all the teams that have registered so far. Well done. Thank you for registering. Averages, if you're wondering, the average, round 1 and 2 were not easy. So let's see where the averages sit after 2 rounds of play. The average for round 1 was 7. Quite a high average, actually. It's higher than I thought it would be. And the average for round 2, the TV dads, is 5. Ugh. That was not necessarily the easiest question, but or the easiest round, but well done. That means the average after 2 rounds of play is 12. Keep in mind, if you want to enter the scavenger hunt question, send me an email at mackaytaggart@gmail.com with a picture of you holding a 1983 coin. We'll look, I'll reveal at the end of the night who the winner is of that round or that special theme question. You'll get a 12-pack of Steam Whistle beer. All right, moving on to question or round number 3. And I'm trying to think, oh yeah, so we're gonna do this. These are both one pride themed and one dad themed round for rounds 3 and 4. We'll start with the pride theme round, and it is a music round. I am gonna read out lyrics from songs from popular LGBTQ artists. You simply have to name the song title for 1 point or for half a point, and actually don't do it this way because I don't think half points are allowed in the Google Doc. So you get 1 full point for the song title and an additional point for the artist. And this is out of a 20 points this round, if you catch my drift. So we will, I'll read the songs twice and once at the end of the round. Jason Seaver should on that list too, yeah. Oh yeah, you can send your coin pick to I haven't even looked at my email, so I don't know if anyone's even entered yet or won, but you can send your email to makaitaggart@gmail.com. All right, I'm going to list these songs twice and once at the end of the round. Starting with song number 1, you have to write down the song title and the artist if you can. I'm going to pour myself some more of this sour, which I bought across the street from my friends at Old Town Bodega, trying to support our local pubs as much as we can during this time. Here we go. Song number 1. So excuse me for forgetting, but these things I do. You see, I've forgotten if they're green or they're blue. Anyway, the thing is, what I really mean, yours are the sweetest eyes I've ever seen. CG Braun, I just included my email address above your comment. Send me a note if you think you've got a coin with the year 1983 on it. Again, song number 1. So excuse me for forgetting, but these things I do. You see, I've forgotten if they're green or they're blue. Anyway, the thing is, I really mean, yours are the sweetest eyes I've ever seen. These are all LGBTQ artists, and you have to name the song and the artist. Here is song number 2. I work hard every day of my life. I work till I ache my bones. At the end, I take home my hard-earned pay, all on my own. Question number 2 again, song number 2. I work hard every day of my life. I work till I ache my bones. At the end, I take home my hard-earned pay, all on my own. Write down the song title and the artist. Song number 3, maybe a bit of a tough one. You don't know how much I give or how much I can take just to reach you, just to reach you, just to reach you. Song number 3 again. You don't know how much I give or how much I can take just to reach you, just to reach you, just to reach you. Here's song number 4. This is definitely a tough one. And feel free to just take stabs at the artist, even if you don't know, worth guessing. Here's number 4. What are you holding out for? What's always in the way? Why so damn absent-minded? Why so scared of romance? Here again is song number 4. What are you holding out for? What's always in the way? Why so damn absent-minded? Why so scared of romance? Here is song number 5. I'm beyond your peripheral vision, so you might want to turn your head, because someday you're going to get hungry and eat most of the words you just said. Here again is song number 5. I am beyond your peripheral vision, so you might want to turn your head, because someday you're going to get hungry and eat most of the words you just said. Here's song number 6. She never drinks the water and makes you order French champagne. Once you've had a taste of her, you'll never be the same. Yeah, she'll make you go insane. Name the song and the artist, who happens to be a part of the LGBTQ community. Single point for the artist and single point for the song title. Here it is again, number 6. She never drinks the water and makes you order French champagne. Once you've had a taste of her, you'll never be the same. Yeah, she'll make you go insane. Here is song number 7. I went to the doctor. I went to the mountains. I looked to the children. I drank from the fountain. There's more than one answer to these questions. Again, song number 7. I went to the doctor. I went to the mountains. I looked to the children. I drank from the fountain. There's more than one answer to these questions. Here is song number 8. Consider this, the slip that brought me to my knees. Failed. What if all these fantasies come flailing around? Now I've said too much. Here again is song number 8. Consider this, the slip that brought me to my knees. Failed. What if all these fantasies come flailing around? Now I've said too much. Here's song number 9. All you think of lately is getting underneath me. All I dream of lately is how to get you underneath me. Again, song number 9 in the category of LGBTQ artists and hit songs. Number 9, all you think of lately is getting underneath me. All I dream of lately is how to get you underneath me. And finally, the last song in the round, song number 10. I'm a man without conviction. I'm a man who doesn't know how to sail a contradiction. You come and go. You come and go. Oh, oh, oh. Again, here's number 10, song number 10. I'm a man without conviction. I'm a man who doesn't know how to sail a contradiction. You come and go. You come and go. Oh, oh, oh. Those are the 10 songs. I will repeat them each one more time before we move on to round number 3, or round number 4 rather. Here again is song number 1. So excuse me forgetting, but these things I do. You see, I've forgotten if they're green or they're blue. Anyway, the thing is, what I really mean, yours are the sweetest eyes I've ever seen. Song number 2. I work hard every day of my life. I work till I ache my bones. At the end, I take home my hard-earned pay all on my own. Song number 3. You don't know how much I give or how much I can take just to reach you, just to reach you, just to reach you. Here's song number 4. What are you holding out for? What's always in the way? Why so damn absent-minded? Why so scared of romance? Here is song number 5. I am beyond your peripheral vision, so you might want to turn your head, because someday you're going to get hungry and eat most of the words you just said. Song number 6. She never drinks the water and makes you order French champagne. Once you've had a taste of her, you'll never be the same. Yeah, she'll make you go insane. Here's song number 7. I went to the doctor, I went to the mountains. I looked to the children, I drank from the fountain. There's more than one answer to these questions. Here is song number 8. Consider this, the slip that brought me to my knees failed. What if all these fantasies come flailing around? Now I've said too much. Song number 9. All you think of lately is getting underneath me. All I dream of lately is how to get you underneath me. And finally, song number 10. I'm a man without conviction. I'm a man who doesn't know how to sail a contradiction. You come and go. You come and go. Oh, oh, oh. All right, those are the 10 songs in this round. I will now move on to round number 4, which is a visual round that you've got to work on with your team or on your own. I upload right now to the chat a Google Doc. Sean, yes, I am drinking something from Whitby. It's from a brewery called Little Beasts Brewing Company in Whitby, Ontario. This is their dry hop sour saison called La Saison de Printemps, like the season of spring, I guess. C'est très délicieux. Yeah, proudly crafted in Whitby, Ontario. Funny, I actually ordered a friend some beer this week from another brewery called Old Town Brewery, I think, in Whitby. Didn't know there are so many good breweries in Whitby. Anyway, Anne Pringle, you're a lovely person. I'm so glad to see you on here, but I can't repeat number 3 because I did repeat number 3 already. Thank you for joining. What I am going to do, though, is upload to this group the Google Doc, if I can find it here. There we go. You're going to have, I'm going to say 7 minutes for this one. I feel like that's a reasonable time to do. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to change the settings. Let's do this. Anyone with this link? There we go. Copy link. I think this should work. I think I've changed the settings properly. I think I give you access. I'm not sure. We'll see. Here it is. Round 4. I said 7 minutes. Starting now. Basically, look at the picture of the person and name their famous dad. You have 7 minutes to name the famous dads. Starting now. Thank you for the kind words, Dr. Gemmel. I think we're born pretty much a week apart, if I recall correctly. And happy Father's Day and happy Grandfather's Day to you in Kingston. Thanks for joining in. Four minutes and 50 seconds to name the famous dads of the people featured in those images. Checking out the time here, we've got 2 minutes and 30 seconds left to name the dads of the famous faces in that Google document. One minute, just over 1 minute to go. If you're just joining us, there is a link to a Google document you'll see in the chat portion of the window. Click on that Google Doc, and if you work really fast, you might be able to identify some of the famous dads in that photo. If you can do it in 24 seconds, all the power to you. All right, that is time. Time is up on round number 4. Time to put down your pens and pencils and keyboards, and we will take up the answers to rounds 3 and rounds 4. I'm glad you like it, Michael. Oh, and thank you to Michael Collins, who just commented on the chat. I got to thank Michael because he's a terrific graphic artist. Actually, we work together at Global News. But Michael, very kindly, if everyone who's been playing along for the last couple weeks or months now will know that I have a shitty cover that I designed myself, obviously, called Mackay's Big Book of Trivia. I've been using that as my cover as I open the book of trivia I've written over the years. But Michael has made me a nice, look at that. I don't know if you can see it properly, really well. But anyway, if you can, it's much more professional. And it actually is very flattering graphic design to me. I wish I was that chiseled and my eyes that blue, but I appreciate, Michael, that very nice gesture, and I'll replace that cover soon. Whoops. All right, we'll take up the answers from round 3, or first, the music round, the round in which I was asking people to identify the songs by LGBTQ artists. As I mentioned in the preamble, each of those questions, got to find here we go. Each of those questions is actually worth 2 points. 1 point for the song title and 1 point for the artist. So here we go. Question number 1. Yours are the sweetest eyes I've ever seen. That is a line from Your Song by Elton John. Your Song, Elton John. I wish I could play these because these are some great songs, great gay anthems, but can't play them, unfortunately. YouTube will jump on that quick and pull this video down. Song number 2. I work hard every day of my life. I work till I ache my bones. That is a line from Somebody to Love by Queen. Freddie Mercury, obviously a leader amongst LGBTQ musicians. And if you haven't seen Bohemian Rhapsody, great film. Number 3, Come to My Window by Melissa Etheridge is the song. Come to My Window, Melissa Etheridge, the artist. Number 4, this was a tough one. What are you holding out for? What's always in the way? A lot of people probably don't know this band and probably don't even know that the lead singer is a gay person, but the band is Block Party, and the song is This Modern Love. Great song. And speaking of LGBTQ artists, Final Fantasy, or Owen Pallett, who's an artist, a Canadian artist who happens to be part of the gay community, he did a cover of This Modern Love years ago, like 15 or 16, 17 years ago, but it's a great cover if you want to check that out as well. Harder to find these days, maybe on YouTube somewhere. Number 5, I'm beyond your peripheral vision, so you might want to turn your head. That's a line from Ani DeFranco's famous song, 32 Flavors. 32 Flavors by Ani DeFranco is song number 5. Song number 6, She Never Drinks the Water and Makes You Order French Champagne. This was the breakout hit. I don't think he was out at the time based on the song there, but it's Ricky Martin singing Livin' La Vida Loca. Livin' La Vida Loca, Ricky Martin is song number 6. Song number 7, I went to the doctor, I went to the mountains, I looked to the children, I drank from the fountain. Those are lyrics written by the 2 women who make up the Indigo Girls, or Indigo Girls. The song, Closer to Fine. Closer to Fine. Song number 8, what if all these fantasies come flailing around? That a line from Losing My Religion by REM, fronted by Michael Stipe. Song number 9, one of the first, if not the only, Canadian song on this list. I should have done a better job including some CanCon, but number 9 is Canadian. All I Dream of Lately is How to Get You Underneath Me. That is a line from the song Closer by Tegan and Sarah. Tegan and Sarah. And finally, song number 10, I'm a Man Without Conviction. I'm a Man Who Doesn't Know. You Come and Go, You Come and Go, oh, oh, oh. Boy George, when he was performing as part of Culture Club. And the song is Karma Chameleon. Karma Chameleon by Culture Club is song number 10. So well done. That was not an easy round. Yes, Abdullah is right, Nicole. Each of those songs is worth 2 points, one for the song title and one for the artist. There is a connector, but I acknowledged it off the bat to make it a little easier. Yes, all the artists are LGBTQ singers or songwriters or bands with LGBTQ members. So no connector clue point, though. All right, on to round number 4, the answers. The Who's Your Daddy? Picture this round. You had to look at the images and identify who the father was of all those famous people. Each correct answer is worth a point. Image number 1, that is the young Prince Charlotte, who is now 1, 2, I think 3rd in line or 4th in line to the throne. Charles, William, George, and Charlotte. So the answer is Prince William is her dad, or William of Windsor is question number 1. Number 2, I feel for this guy because he's doesn't always have his shit together, but he's sort of the black sheep son of Tom Hanks. That's Chet Hanks. It sounds like an SNL sketch rather, because he's like this kind of doesn't really have his total shit together the way his brother Colin does, but that is the other son of Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks being the correct answer. Number 3, that is Willow Smith, her dad. She's famous in her own right for her burgeoning music career, but her dad is Will Smith, the actor and musician. Will Smith is the answer. Number 3. Number 4 is a little tougher. The first of a couple Canadians on this list. That is Sarah Levy, and she is the sister of Dan Levy and the daughter of Eugene Levy. Sarah Levy, also one of the stars of Schitt's Creek. So Eugene Levy is the correct answer, number 4. Number 5, also Canadian. And I know it's a kind of tough picture, and you'd probably recognize him better if he was wearing hockey equipment or appearing in I think he's in some ads for diabetes medication online, or on TV rather. But that's Max Domi, the son of former Toronto Maple Leaf defenseman Ty Domi. That might be the genius point of the round. But number 5 is Ty Domi. Question or person number 6. Her name is Rashida Jones. She starred on shows like The Office and Parks and Rec. Her dad, very famous in his own right as a record producer and a TV executive and an entertainment mogul. Her dad is Quincy Jones. Quincy Jones is the answer to number 6. Number 7, that is, was it Coach? I was going to say Coach Babcock, but that wasn't his name in the movie. But that was the actor Emilio Estevez, who played the coach. Really done a lot of things in his career, but that's a shot from Mighty Ducks. And his dad is Martin Sheen. Martin Sheen actually changed his name when he was starting out in Hollywood. Emilio Estevez chose to use his birth name, which is Estevez, and he's brother of Charlie Sheen, son of Martin Sheen, but Emilio Estevez is Batman. So the correct answer is Martin Sheen. Gordon Bombay. Well done, Abdullah. Well done. Number 8, perhaps a bit of a gimme. It's Angelina Jolie is the person in that photo. Her dad, the actor John Voight. John Voight is number 8. Number 9, this is also a tough one. If you look closely, it said Actra Toronto, and this woman is wearing an Order of Canada around her neck, obviously meaning she is Canadian and an actress. Her name is, well, she's the mother of a famous person. She's the mother of Kiefer Sutherland, but she's also the daughter of Tommy Douglas, the founder of our healthcare system, former premier of Saskatchewan. So Tommy Douglas is the correct answer for number 9. And number 10, that's a screenshot from fairly short-lived but really funny sitcom called Happy Endings. The actor is Damon Wayans Jr. If you knew that, then you really should know that his dad is Damon Wayans Sr., or just Damon Wayans. All right. Those are the correct answers. I'll fly through them again very quickly if you want them repeated. Prince William, Tom Hanks, Will Smith, Eugene Levy, Ty Domi, Quincy Jones, Martin Sheen, John Voight, Tommy Douglas, and Damon Wayans. Those are the correct answers. I will now invite you to enter your scores for rounds 3 and rounds 4 into the Google Doc. I'll give you a couple minutes to do that as I thank everybody again. A huge, huge thank you for donating already over almost $1,200 just in the last, what, we've been doing this for an hour, not even? Incredible, or an hour and a half, holy shit, time flies. But thank you so much to everybody who has donated to Covenant House and to the Sleep Out. As I mentioned, I have been a supporter of this organization for a couple of years now, and I really support it. And as I mentioned, you know, I'm a gay person myself, and I recognize that for a lot of people, coming out is not an easy thing to do, and sadly for some people, it results in having to leave your home and not feeling safe in your home anymore. And Covenant House is a fantastic resource. And as I mentioned, I think upwards of 40% of the clients, the youth that they see, identify as members of the LGBT community. Also, a disproportionate number of members of the BIPOC community, of the Black, Indigenous, person of color community, who rely on the services of Covenant House. So if you haven't yet, and so many of you have, and I really appreciate that, but if you haven't yet and you feel like donating, I'm going to share the link again. If you're just joining us. There you go. User runs out of 20. Jason's asking, yeah. You're having trouble accessing the Google Doc, really? I don't think it's locked. You should be able to go back. I'm still accepting responses. And for those who are new, basically you just have to edit your response. You don't want to submit a new response, because then it creates a new line in my Excel spreadsheet. So yeah, update your scores. Looks like most teams have been able to do that, so I don't think it's locked. I've got most teams now who have registered a score for round 3 and round 4, and I'll give it just a couple seconds and then give you the averages. Thank you guys so much this has been certainly a different birthday, but a very special one. I can't imagine a group of digital strangers in some cases who I'd rather spend this with. So thank you guys so much for being so supportive. Also, happy birthday to other people celebrating on June 19th, including Paula Abdul's birthday is today. So is Macklemore, Kathleen Turner. Oh, did I mention it? Oh, there's this guy as well. If anyone watches Grey's Anatomy, Giacomo Giannotti, who actually, we went to the same high school, born on the same day, quite a few years apart. I didn't know him in high school, but we went back to this career day a couple of years ago. And I don't watch Grey's Anatomy. He plays this Italian doctor on Grey's Anatomy. And we go out, we're in this sort of green room backstage before going and doing this career day presentation at our school. And we were just kind of shooting the shit for a little while. And I'd asked him, oh, like, what do you do now? He said, oh, I'm an actor down in LA. And I didn't really get into what kind of projects he was working on. And the time comes for us to go and be introduced for this career day. And I'm thinking like he's, just sort of an average working actor in LA, and talking about that. But as the principal introduces us, they introduce him, and the crowd like erupts. Like these kids go crazy, and then they introduce me and like crickets. And I realize that I am now like the least interesting person on this stupid career day stage, and all the kids want to do is hear from this actor who's legitimately like a big deal on an Emmy-winning TV show, and I'm sitting there as this nerdy journalist who people really don't care to hear from. And I said to him afterwards, like, you could have told me you're a big deal. He's got like 4 million Instagram followers, and I was not nearly as interesting. And it turns out we have the same birthday. Anyway, that's a total aside. Time to add up the scores from rounds 3 and rounds 4. Rounds 3, the average score was, this is again out of 20. Average score was 11. Not an easy round, about a 50% batting average there. And the score for round 4, which was the Who's Your Daddy round, significantly better, 7. 7 was the average for round 4. So well done to all those teams. Don't worry if you're not doing as well as you'd hope. There are still 2 rounds to go. And we're giving out a prize tonight, a 12-pack of steam whistle for the team that comes in second last, the penultimate prize. So even if you're not doing as well as you'd like, stick around because you might still get a prize. All right. Thanks, Shergan. I feel like people are liking my chairs more than me these days, and that's totally fine. I mean, they're pretty great chairs. All right, here we go. We're going to start round number 5 with a rapid fire round. And here's how a rapid fire round works. It's a pretty thematic round. I only ask the questions twice. I don't go back and read them once at the end of the round. So you've got to listen really carefully. Those are basically the only rules. Here's how this rapid fire round is going to work. Often they're kind of numerical and themed. Basically, there are 10 questions. Each question, the answer for each question will align with the number of the question. Basically, they're all idioms. I'm going to describe the definition of the idiom, and you have to give the idiom. And as a clue, that idiom includes the number that the question is numbered. Got it? I'm explaining this poorly, but I think as we go, you'll probably understand it. And I should also mention that some of these idioms might include a reference to multiple numbers, but as long as the number that the question that I'm asking is included in there is good. It can also include other numbers, but it has to include the number that we're on at that moment. I probably should have explained this round before I drank my IPAs, but hopefully you're following along and you get it. All right, here we go. Question number 1. Achieve multiple goals with a single action. Again, what is the idiom that fits this definition? Achieve multiple goals with a single action. Hopefully that makes sense. I'll check the chat here to make sure people are, people seem to be not asking questions about it. So I'll continue on to number 2. Here is number 2 rapid fire, idiom, numerical idioms. Number 2, something that is bad, but not as bad as something else. Question number 2, and again, the word to needs to appear in this idiom. Idiom number 2 is something that is bad, but not as bad as something else. Idiom number 3, with the word 3 in it. A confused or noisy activity. Why don't we say, I'll say this way actually, a wild or noisy activity is idiom number 3. Idiom number 4, affirmative. As you may have guessed or figured out, this round has nothing to do with pride or with dads necessarily. It is just the rapid fire round. As I said, idiom number 4 is affirmative. Idiom number 5, rest briefly. Again, idiom number 5, question number 5, rest briefly. Idiom number 6 in the rapid fire round. It's said in reference to little difference between two things. I'll simplify that. I'll just say idiom number 6 is little difference between two things. Idiom number 7, a desire to cheat on one's spouse after a set period of marriage. Question number 7, the desire to cheat on one's spouse after a set period of marriage. Question number 8, playing catch up in a difficult situation. Again, question number 8, playing catch up in a difficult situation. Question number 9, an idiom that could be described as a proverb that refers to the importance of precaution. Again, number 9, a proverb that refers to the importance of precaution. And finally, the last question in the round, and keep in mind, I'm not going back and rereading them. Question number 10 is a tough one, but in all likelihood. In all likelihood is the clue for question or idiom number 10. And those are the 10 questions that make up round number 5, the rapid fire round. Unlike in other rounds, you will not hear those questions again, so I hope you got them. At this point, we're going to move on to round number 6, the final round in the night, which is the final Jeopardy round. This is a round where I have not actually, unlike all the other questions tonight that I've actually written myself, these questions I didn't write, so you can't dispute. These are questions taken from an actual episode of Jeopardy. And there's a bonus opportunity here. I'm going to give you the date on which this Jeopardy episode originally aired. Excuse me, if you can guess the significance rather of that date, you'll get a bonus point. This is an opportunity for an extra point. This episode of Jeopardy aired on Tuesday, July 19th, 2005, almost 15 years ago. This Jeopardy episode aired July 19th, 2005. If you can guess somewhere on your sheet what the significance of that date was, you'll get a bonus point. I will read the category and the clues twice, once at the end of the round, starting with question number 1. And it is this. Category, TV Guide says. The clue, Seth's comic doodlings open Summer's eyes. In this round, Alex would read TV Guide descriptions of episodes, and contestants had to answer with what episode or what TV show they thought Alex was referring to. Again, question number 1, the category, TV Guide says, and the clue, quote, Ryan's attempt to reunite Lindsay and Caleb backfires. Seth's comic book doodlings open Summer's eyes. Question number 2, the category, on the map. The clue, 2 of the 4 countries that border Thailand. The category again is on the map, and the clue, 2 of the 4 countries that border Thailand. Jacob, thanks for the reminder, man. I'm gonna have to start getting you a shout out or at least a cut of the money that I don't make from the night. Or maybe just send you a gift certificate or something. Thanks, Jacob. Question number 3. The category, also a baseball team. Category is also a baseball team. And the clue, numbers like 1, 2, and 7,012. Category again is also a baseball team, and the clue, numbers like 1, 2, and 7,012. I encourage you to, that's a tough one. I'll give you an extra time to figure it out while I will be right back. All right, question number 4 now. The category for question number 4, 20th century names. 20th century names is the category. The clue, this world leader was vacationing on the Black Sea coast when he was ousted from power in October 1964. Category again, number 4, is 20th century names, and the clue, this world leader was vacationing on the Black Sea coast when he was ousted from power in October of 1964. Question number 5. The category, f-stop, with the letter F in quotations, meaning that every answer begins in this category with the letter F. The clue, meat from the upper part of a side of pork, usually cured by salt. Category again is f-stop, F in quotations. The clue, meat from the upper side of meat from the upper part of a side of pork, usually cured by salt. Question number 6. The category, authors. The clue, this author's old third-floor room at 85 West 3rd in Greenwich Village is haunted. Residents hear telltale signs. Telltale in quotes. Category again for number 6 is authors, and the clue, this author's old third-floor room at 85 West 3rd in Greenwich Village is haunted. Residents hear telltale signs. Question number 7. Category, April. The clue, in a pre-dawn raid on April 22nd, 2000, federal agents in Miami swooped in and seized this boy. The category again is April, and the clue, in a pre-dawn raid on April 22nd, 2000, federal agents in Miami swooped in and seized this boy. Question number 8, the category, showers. The clue, in the shower scene in Psycho, it was curtains for this Janet Leigh character. The category for number 8 is showers, and the clue, in the shower scene in Psycho, it was curtains for this Janet Leigh character. That was number 8. This is number 9. Category, the Mayflower. The clue, after a 66-day journey, the Mayflower arrived in the New World in November of this year. Again, question number 9, the category is Mayflower. And the clue, after a 66-day journey, the Mayflower arrived in the New World in November of this year. Kathleen, I will read number 8 again, but I'm going to do it at the end of the round. I'll go back and read all of these questions again. Question number 10, the category, in the brig, with the letters B-R-I-G in quotations, meaning those letters must appear in the answer each time in this one category. The clue, two-masted sailing ship. The category is in the brig, B-R-I-G in quotations, and the clue, two-masted sailing ship. Category for the final Jeopardy question on this night in July of 2015. The category was words in literature, and the clue was, in Webster's, it means either a soldier using a certain muzzle-loading weapon or a boon companion. Category again for Final Jeopardy is words in literature, And the clue, in Webster's, it means either a soldier using a certain muzzle-loading weapon or a boon companion. Sorry, 2005. Did I not say 2000? If I misspoke, that these questions were all written or presented on a Jeopardy episode in 2005, July 19th, 2005. Those are the 11 questions that make up the final round. I will go back and read each question one more time, starting with question number 1. The category was TV Guide Says, and the clue, quote, Ryan's attempt to reunite Lindsay and Caleb backfires. Seth's comic doodlings open Summer's eyes. Speaking of doodlings, I want to shout out Kevin Sylvester, who's been here most weeks, if not every week, that we've been doing quizzing in quarantine, and kindly on Twitter shares his trivia-inspired doodles, which sometimes are deeply troubling, other times are really lovely, but always well-crafted. So thanks, Kevin, for your loyalty and your doodles. Question number 2, the category. On the map is the category. The clue was 2 of the 4 countries that border Thailand. Question number 3, the category was also a baseball team, and the clue was numbers like 1, 2, and 7,012. Question number 4, the category was 20th century names, and the clue was this world leader was vacationing on the Black Sea coast when he was ousted from power in October 1964. Question number 5, the category was F stop with F in quotations, meaning that must appear at the beginning of the answer. The clue, meat from the upper part of a side of pork, usually cured by salt. Question number 6, the category authors. The clue, this author's 3rd floor room at 85 West 3rd in Greenwich Village is haunted. Residents hear telltale signs. Question number 7, the category, April. The clue, in a pre-dawn raid on April 22nd, 2000, federal agents in Miami swooped in and seized this boy. Question number 8, the category, showers. The clue, in the shower scene in Psycho, it was curtains for this Janet Leigh character. Question number 9, the category, the Mayflower. The clue, after a 66-day journey, the Mayflower arrived in the New World in November of this year. Question number 10, the category was in the brig, B-R-I-G in quotations. The clue, 2-masted sailing ship. And finally, the final Jeopardy category on this night, July 19th, 2005, was words in literature. And the clue, in Webster's, it means either a soldier using a certain muzzle-loading weapon or a boon companion. Those are all the questions in the Jeopardy round. Keep in mind, if you want to earn a bonus point, you can take a guess at what you think the significance of July 19th, 2005 would be related to what were the sort of the theme of the night. If you guess that correctly, you'll get a bonus point. At this point, I will ask you to please enter your final scores into the Google Doc. We'll figure out who it is that is getting the LCBO gift card or the Steam Whistle gift certificates. The Steam Whistle gift certificates are going to the 2nd place team, as well as the penultimate team, and the scavenger hunt winner, which we'll determine in just a second. Before we get to the final declaration of winners, I have a programming announcement to make, and I've given this a lot of thought, and I think it makes sense. So I hope that you guys will be supportive of this decision. Oh, I have to read out. Oh man, yes, of course, I have to read out the answers. Jeez, man, not the first time I've forgotten this. All right, going back to round number 3. Round number 5, which was the rapid fire round, the idiom round. Thank you for reminding me. I got to read out the answers. Here are the correct answers. Achieving multiple goals with a single action. The idiom, kill two birds with one stone. Again, the number one had to be in there. So kill two birds with one stone is the answer to number one. To number two, something that is bad but not as bad as something else. That would be the lesser of two evils is number two, lesser of two evils. Number three, a confused, wild, or noisy activity. I was thinking three-ring circus. Somebody else wrote and suggested it was a threesome. I mean, they're not entirely wrong, but I'm looking for a three-ring circus. This person clearly is having a more adventurous quarantine period than most of us. Question number 4, the clue was affirmative. The answer, 10-4. 10-4 is the answer. Question number 5, the clue, rest briefly. The answer, take 5. Take 5 for number 5. Number 6, this is somewhat of a tough one. Said in reference to little difference between two things. That answer, 6 of one, half dozen of another. 6 of one, half dozen of another. Number 7, a desire to cheat on one spouse after a certain period of marriage. That would be a 7-year itch. 7-year itch. Number 8, playing catch up in a difficult situation. That would mean behind the 8 ball. Behind the 8 ball. Number 9, category, or sorry, not category. Number 9, the clue was a proverb that refers to the importance of precaution. This is kind of a tough one. The answer I was looking for was a stitch in time saves 9. Stitch in time rather saves 9. And finally, number 10, also quite difficult. The clue was a little bit broad, a bit ambiguous. The clue was in all likelihood, and the answer I was looking for was 5 will get you 10. Only cats have 9 lives. No, because I don't think cats having 9 lives really is about precaution. So I'm not going to accept that. But after a little more careful, oh yeah, true. Threesome is not an idiom. Good point. 9 times out of 10. Again, not really about precaution. No. Hard to social distance in a threesome. Perhaps a fact, but actually, I feel like threesomes now in the new bubble rules are kind of allowed. Yeah, I'm not going to bend on any of these. There we go. All right, moving on to, yeah, 9 times out of 10, no, I'm not accepting 9 times out of 10. That's more odds than it is an idiom, I think. One fell swoop for number 1. Jared Greenspan, I'm assuming you're playing at home with your wife and children, and I hope this is not where your mind is at. You should grow up, but you might not be wrong. All right, moving on to the Jeopardy round, which you can't dispute the answers because, as I said, I didn't write them. They were written by ABC network writers who make far more money than I do, and probably any of us do. TV Guide says Ryan's attempt to reunite Lindsay and Caleb backfires. That's a plot description from the show, The OC. The OC is the answer. Number 2, on the map, 2 of the 4 countries that border Thailand. You needed only 2 of these, but the 4 countries are Myanmar, Cambodia, Laos, and Malaysia. Myanmar, Cambodia, Laos, and Malaysia. 2 of those 4. Number 3, the category, also a baseball team. Numbers like 1, 2, and 7,012. Those are all cardinal numbers. So Cardinals, St. Louis Cardinals. As long as you had cardinal or cardinals, you get the point. Number 4, the world leader who was ousted from power in October 1964 was Khrushchev. Khrushchev is the answer for number 4. Number 5, f-stop, meat from the upper part of a side of pork, is a fat back. Fat back is the answer. Number 6, the author who lived at the 3rd floor room at 85 West third in Greenwich Village is Edgar Allan Poe. Edgar Allan Poe is the answer to number 6. I mean, Burma and Myanmar, I feel like you're either making a Seinfeld reference or genuinely asking. If you put down Burma, I will accept that. I will accept Burma or Myanmar, which I know is maybe not politically correct. But number 7, the category, April. In a pre-dawn raid on April 22nd, 2000, federal agents in Miami swooped in and seized this boy. I remember this playing out on TV very vividly 20 years ago now. Holy shit. It was Elian Gonzalez. Remember, he was stolen from, not stolen, that's maybe politicizing it, but he was taken from his American family in Miami and returned, I think, to Cuba. Was that right? Anyway, number 8, category is showers. In the shower scene in Psycho, it was curtains for this Janet Leigh character. That character, her name, Marion Crane. Marion Crane. Number 9, the category was Mayflower. 66-day journey to Mayflower arrived in the New World in the year 1620. 1620 is the correct answer. Number 10, in the brig. A 2-masted sailing ship is a brigantine. 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 And the final Jeopardy category, words and literature. The clue in Webster's, it meant either a soldier using a certain muzzle-loading weapon or a boon companion. The answer is musketeer, as in 3 musketeers. And for the bonus point, the significance of that date, July 19th, 2005, it'll be the 50th anniversary coming up in 1 month today. 1 month anniversary of gay marriage or same-sex marriage being legalized in Canada. So if you guess that or something related to the same-sex marriage legislation being approved and greenlit in Canada, I think we're the 5th country in the world at that point to legalize same-sex marriage. You are right, and you earn yourself a bonus point. All right. Those are all the questions and all right. Will you accept Boy Gonzalez? As long as you have the last name Gonzalez, you get a point. Eliane is great if you knew that, but if you just, I mean, if you just wrote Boy, then no. If you wrote Gonzalez, then yes. No, I will. You know what, Jacob, I appreciate you stepping in for being as a moderator. But when I looked at the Jeopardy source that I find these answers on, they actually had Gonzalez and then in brackets Eliane. So you only need the first, the last name rather. Good job, mods. Mod singular. All right, that's the end of round 5 and 6. Now is the time that I've given you the answers to go and enter your scores in the Google Doc. Correct, Gustav, 24. DK, how old do you think I am? All hail Jacob. Thank you, everybody. As I mentioned, as you are now hopefully going and entering your scores, I will go back to that programming announcement that I was making previously, which is I'm announcing a slight summer hiatus for Quizzing in Quarantine. I've seen our numbers dip slightly over the last couple weeks. The weather has gotten nicer and patios are now open in many parts of the province. I still think there is a need for us to come together when we can for Quizzing in Quarantine, but for July and August, I'm going to go down to once a month. And I dates TBD, but next week I'm doing that sleep out that you guys all generously contribute to, or a lot of you have. The 2 following weeks I'm out of town, and I think that these events might work better and might get more people sort of motivated if they're once a month for July and August. However, I will tell you that I'm really committed and hoping to bring this back in the fall on a weekly basis. Maybe Fridays, maybe another night if it works for people. Trying to figure out a system, maybe a sponsor so we can get prizes and make this run a little more professionally, put some real kind of oomph behind it. But I feel like, no. I mean, Jacob, this is just your, yeah, once the second wave hits, we'll be back to a weekly. We'll be stuck in our homes again. But I encourage you, to get out and enjoy the real world while you can, safely and responsibly. But I'll be back, for 1 week in July at least, and 1 week in August, and who knows? I mean, this might change, but I can tell you that for the next 3 weeks, I'm out of the mix. And then we will. What's Eric up to? Eric's ego is far too high. He would never return to this platform. He also doesn't do anything unless there's money involved, and there's no money in online trivia. I can tell you that. But I really, it means so much to me that you guys not only have been here so consistently over the last 15 weeks, but also that every time I've asked or suggested, you guys have risen to the occasion. Collectively, this group has, I can't even do the math, but I'm going to say has raised at least $2,500 for amazing causes, domestic abuse shelters, youth homeless shelters, food banks, organizations that are really doing a lot of heavy lifting during this time. So I want to thank you guys so much. And this is certainly not the last time that we'll be gathering together to hopefully do digital trivia. So yeah, I want to thank everybody. Anyway, let's not get emotional. I will, though, go through and add up the questions or the scores, and I'll figure out who it was that actually wins this $20 or the Steam Whistle gift certificate for winning the self-isolation scavenger hunt round. Also, if you want to find out when that Friday in July that we'll be doing this is, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, because the latest information about quizzing in quarantine will be found on this channel. Okay, first we will do the self-isolation scavenger hunt. I challenged you guys to try and find a coin in your home that had the year 1983 written on it. I want to give a special shout out to Zoe Levitt, who was just a couple minutes late, or not late, but I guess in third place in terms of fastest to respond with a 1983 coin. Also, a picture with her dad, which is very topical, but unfortunately it was going to be the first person who sent it in. Anna Strathy, who was looks like just 2 minutes back from being in first. Anna Strathy, congratulations, but you're in second. And instead, in first place tonight with the self-isolation scavenger hunt is the Honey Wagon Swampers plus a dad. Congratulations, you guys were very quick, and you sent in a penny with the year 1983 on it. You are getting a 12-pack of Steam Whistle beer that you can redeem anytime between now and August 16th. So send me back your mailing address, and I'll pop that in the mail and send that to you. Congratulations. Hopefully now everyone has entered their final scores of the night, and I will add up these final scores and figure out who it is that is getting I'll see the average score tonight. I mean, you guys, it was a rocky start on a couple of these rounds, but a lot of you redeemed yourselves because the scores were quite impressive by the end. All right. I want to thank everybody again, and especially those, and I know there were a lot of people actually, friends of mine who were playing tonight who already previously donated to my Covenant House efforts, and that means an incredible amount to me, as well. Those people who donated tonight for the first time, the money I can guarantee goes to a great cause, because I work with this organization. I get to see the work they do and the youth that they whose lives they impact. So thank you so much again to everybody. One more shameless plug: if you're looking to donate, if you haven't yet, I will share the link one more time. But thank you so much to everybody who did. It really, that's definitely the highlight of my birthday is the money that we've been able to generate for this great cause. So thank you so much. All right, tonight on the leaders board, tonight winning the penultimate prize, which, as I mentioned, is 12 Steam Whistle beer. If you send me your address once I announce the team, I will pop this gift certificate in the mail for you. And that team tonight with the penultimate prize, with a very strong score I should add, is a buys and a bay. A buy and a bay. Congratulations, you win the penultimate prize. Well done. Which takes us then to the top of the leaderboard. And as I've done the last couple of weeks, I will read out the top 10 teams, but it is only the second and first place team that are actually getting tangible prizes. But that's not to say that these teams do not deserve a special shout out, because they are doing incredible things. All right, in 10th place tonight, we have quite a few teams tied for 10th. Tied for 10th, we have Super Duper Alice Bull Zuper, We're on a Patio, sorry Toronto, Three People, Make America Gay Again, and That's All We've Got. Those 5 teams, congratulations, you tied for 10th place. Sitting solo in 9th place tonight, Pops Quiz. Congratulations, Pops Quiz. In 8th place tonight, 44 Magnum Finger Guns. They are tied in 8th with Livin' Covita Loca and You're a Quizzard, Harry, as well as Honey Wagon, Swampers, and a Dad. Tied in 8th, those teams. Congratulations. In 7th place tonight, all alone in 7th, O'Trivia Munn. Congratulations. In 6th place, Nick K is a Schluser. Nick K is a Schluser is in 6th. In 5th place, Bobble Bubbles. Bobble Bubbles takes 6th. 4th place, we have a 3-way tie in 4th. Those teams are Pringle All the Way, Tit Soup for the Birthday Boy's Soul, and Billy Ray Virus. Congratulations, all those teams tied for 4th. Very impressive. Only one team in 3rd tonight. That team is Happy Birth Dad. Well done to you, finishing in 3rd place tonight. In 2nd place, this is where things get a little complicated. We've got 3 teams tied in 2nd place. Those teams are going to have to enter into a tiebreaker. I'll tell you what that is once I reveal a team. So the 3 teams tied for 2nd place are Mackay is really 37. Thanks for rubbing it in. Daddy Mackay's Sleepover Party Crashers. Won't comment on that. And also Birthday Party in the front, Trivia in the back. Congratulations to those 3 teams tied for 3rd place. You were battling it out for a Steam Whistle gift certificate. If you can answer this question, you have to take the current age of Elton John and add it to the current age of Ricky Martin. Ricky Martin's age plus Elton John's age, that is your ticket to a 2nd place win. You need to enter it in the tiebreaker field in the Google Doc. I'll give you about 30 seconds to do that. And we'll figure out who it is that's going home with the 2nd place prize of a Steam Whistle gift certificate. And in 1st place tonight, congratulations, out in front by 3 points, very impressive. And speaking of dads, I want to thank again my dad here, who's not Gordie Howe, but the other guy. Thank you, my dad, for very generously for many of the weeks we've been doing this, donating out of his own pocket money for prizes. And thanks to him, we have a $20 gift certificate to the LCBO to give to the 1st place team, which is Egregious Philbin. So congratulations, Egregious Philbin. All right, looks like we have a tiebreaker guest from Mackay is really 37 and from Birthday Party in the Front. Still waiting for Daddy Mackay's Sleepover Party Crashers. If you want to enter a guess as to what Elton John's age is, plus Ricky Martin's age. Elton John plus Ricky Martin. If you guess the team closest to getting it correct, will win the gift certificate. All right, looks like we've got 3 guesses. We have a guess from Mackay is really 37, guessed 131. Daddy Mackay's Sleepover guessed 120, and Party in the Front guessed 126. Elton John is 73, Ricky Martin is 48. Their combined age is 121. Congratulations to Daddy Mackay's Sleepover Party Crashers. You are getting a Steam Whistle gift certificate tonight. Well done. Again, that brings us to the conclusion of week 15 of Quizzing in Quarantine. This is definitely not the end. We will definitely be back. I'll be back in mid-July. And then again, definitely in August. Going to take the next 3 weeks off. And look at our return options for the fall. If you've got ideas, if you think a weeknight might be better, like a Monday, or if you want to keep it on Friday, I'm certainly open to suggestions. You can email me, follow me on Instagram at Mackay Taggart, or on Twitter at the same tag, the same profile name. And I really thank you guys so much for being here tonight and so many of these nights, and thank you for the kind birthday wishes. And most importantly, to me, thank you for the support for the Covenant House Sleep Out. I started tonight at like $2,600, I think, from friends and family who donated previously, and we're now up to $4,169. If that's, I think that's correct. I should refresh, but yeah, thank you guys so much. That really, I can't tell you how much that means to me, and supporting this cause means to me. So thank you so much. And I can't wait to see you guys again a little later in July. Stay safe and stay healthy and stay kind to each other, and stay nerdy. And I look forward to seeing everybody back. Give a like, give a follow. There'll be lots of information as to when and where we'll be back. And until then, stay quizzical. Thanks, everybody.